Can you imagine finding meaning in life after enduring unimaginable torture, intense starvation, losing all his possessions, losing his home, and suffering the devastating loss of his father, mother, brother, and his wife? Join me as we delve into the extraordinary story of a man who survived the horrors of Nazi concentration camp during World War II, only to emerge with a profound understanding of human resilience and the pursuit of meaning. Hello everybody, welcome to the show 10-Minute Success Strategies. I am Dr. Avinash here. I share actionable insights and strategies for personal growth around the 4 pillars of life: health, career, relationship, and spiritual well-being. Keep listening and stay motivated. Today, we explore into the transformative insights from Viktor Frankl's seminal work, Man's Search for Meaning. Frankl is a renowned professor of neurology and psychology. He takes us on an introspective journey through his personal experience as an inmate in the concentration camps in Germany during World War II. Against all odds, he managed to find hope and meaning during one of the history's darkest periods. At the entry to the camp, prisoners were segregated into 2 groups, those fit for labor and those deemed unfit. The unfit were immediately sent to gas chambers and killed right away, and the Jews also faced the same fate. The death toll in these camps reached to an estimated 1.8 to 2 million people. The ones who were not killed were forced to do hard physical labor, do construction works, railroad works, face intense cold weather without protection, and stricken by many diseases such as typhus and vermin infection due to lack of hygiene and severe malnutrition due to lack of food. Under such horrific conditions, Viktor Frankl survived and found the meaning of his life. Hello guys, you are tuned into episode number 17 of Spiritual and Emotional Wellbeing Week, 3 life lessons from the book Man's Search for Meaning. The first lesson from this book is to find meaning in suffering. As the philosopher Friedrich Nietzsche once said, "He who has the why to live can bear almost any how." Viktor Frankl lived by this philosophy when confronted with back-breaking labor while enduring poor health. Rather than surrendering to the situation, he envisioned himself lecturing future psychology students about his experiences in the camp. By doing so, his experiences became objective as learning events rather than suffering. He discovered that suffering ceases to be suffering at the moment it finds meaning. In fact, Frankl observed more men died due to lack of meaning in their life rather than lack of food or medicine in the camps. Many of us face obstacles in life. It might be physical or even emotional, but instead of getting anxious or depressed about it, if you try to look at your suffering objectively and ask yourself how this suffering might be valuable, you will find answers. Suffering strengthens your character by strengthening your beliefs and values. The second lesson is you always have a choice. Between stimulus and response, there lies a gap, a space in which exists your freedom of choice. You can either choose to respond negatively or you can choose to embrace life's challenges with a positive attitude. The choice is yours. In the words of Viktor Frankl, everything can be taken from a man but one thing, the last of human freedoms, to choose one's attitude to any given circumstance. Even in the harshest condition of the concentration camp, Frankl chose to respond and derive meaning from his ordeal. Following his liberation from the camp, he embarked on a career in clinical psychology. One day, he encountered a patient who was suffering from depression after his wife died. So Frankl asked him, "What if you died instead of your wife? Will your wife suffer in depression?" The man replied, "Yes, of course she would." Then Frankl told him something strange. He said, "Then you are the one to take on the sufferings instead of her. Isn't that what you prefer?" This statement made a profound shift in the man's perspective. This is a perfect example of how you respond to any situation, even the worst ones, like the loss of your loved ones. I remember the quote, "When we are no longer able to change the situation, we are challenged to change ourselves." The third lesson from the book is, happiness and success cannot be pursued, it has to ensue. The idea here is, don't make success and happiness as a target. The more you make it as a target, you are going to miss hitting the target. Instead, if you aim at a greater cause or a greater purpose other than yourself, then success and happiness comes as a byproduct automatically. Again, the message here is to find your purpose, a cause to live for, which should be greater than yourself. There are three primary sources in which you can find your purpose. First is pursuing a life task. Second is loving selflessly. And third is suffering bravely. If you think about it, Nelson Mandela suffered bravely for 28 years in prison, found his meaning in life, and helped create a united South Africa after his release. Mother Teresa found meaning in her life by loving selflessly and serving others, and changed the world with her attitude. In case of Viktor Frankl, it was pursuing a life task. He has written a manuscript on psychology which was confiscated when he entered the Auschwitz camp. Frankl vowed to survive the death camp to one day rewrite the manuscript because he realized nobody in the world had the exact collection of experience, knowledge, and skill that he did to finish this manuscript. If he died, then all his work will be lost. That was his life's purpose, and he indeed defied all the odds and survived to complete this manuscript. Now I invite all of you to find your own meaning in life, a purpose that transcends the self. Strive for it with unwavering determination, and you will discover that happiness and success will flow to you effortlessly. Remember, as Frankl eloquently teaches us, we cannot avoid suffering, but we can choose to cope with it, find meaning in it, and keep moving forward. I highly recommend getting a copy of this book, Man's Search for Meaning by Viktor Frankl, and dive deep into his wisdom. Thank you for joining me today. Thank you so much for listening. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. I am so grateful to join you on this journey of personal growth. Until next time, this is Dr. Avinash, and you are listening to 10-Minute Success Strategies.